Hey guys, Ultimate Nova fan here. So in this video, I'm going to take a moment to share with you a project that I started that may not ever materialize into anything concrete. What I mean by that is that as I was putting together all of the characters for the Man Called Nova little animation project, I found myself um, still kind of confused and overwhelmed with everything that I was creating and what it was supposed to ultimately be. So, in the process of trying to move forward, I found myself at times not bored. I refuse to use the word bored. I will say that um, there were times I needed to distract myself so that I wouldn't lose interest and get overwhelmed regarding this project. So what I ended up doing was I, in my spare time of trying to come up with things to for the characters to do, I created more characters, and I have continued to create more characters regarding Nova and his history in the Marvel Universe. Now, I am exclusively trying to stay focused on the Man Called Nova series, but there is a timeline in the Marvel Universe that Nova is limited in the Man Called Nova series, and then he ends up in a couple of books from other characters to continue his storyline. And then there's a hiatus that goes on where Nova is not part of the Marvel Universe. But in the 1990s, particularly 1990, there was an attempt by Marvel to start a new superhero group. And we know that there are famous superhero groups, but this was a big deal for them because now it was going to bring in a whole new uh, crowd of comic book readers and appreciators, and they were not misfits. They were just a collection of characters that were sitting around and not being utilized. And I forgot the guy who came up with this concept, but he put them all together. And one of the characters is the literally the Richard Rider Nova character. And this incarnation, well, as you see on the screen, these are the 1990s New Warriors. And in the middle, there is someone who looks exactly like Nova, but in a slightly different costume. Um, that is Richard Rider, and he is known as Kid Nova in the 1990s New Warriors book. I grew up reading Nova. I grew up learning about the New Warriors, and I came in on the New Warriors late. How late? Well, by the time he was reintroduced, and he was now becoming the Richard Rider we all knew, and they even changed his costume back to the way it used to be. I didn't know Richard Rider and Nova was back in the Marvel Universe until I went into I think it was a Hallmark card store. I could be mistaken, and they had a book rack. It could have just been a bookstore. I don't recall where it was. It was in a mall though. And on the book rack with the comic books, there was an issue of Spider-Man with Nova on the cover with Spider-Man. And I went, "What? Wait, what? What?" So of course I got the book, and I think somewhere there was an asterisk talking about something that went on in another book, which led me to that book, which led me to the discovery of the New Warriors. And again, I will take a moment here as I've been talking. I totally forgot that I took the liberty of screenshotting some covers and then importing them into the project here to let you know what's going on. So these covers here are the ones that I'm very fond of simply because what Nova's on them, and it's not that he's not on a lot of them, and he might be on almost all of them. But I will show you here by zooming in so we can get a closer look at the books, and then you will see for yourself. Here is right here the first issue, the very first issue of the New Warriors. Let's zoom in a little bit more here. And this was the moment I went, oh my God, he's back. And it wasn't just a guy in a suit, it was Richard Rider. Heroes for the 90s, issue number one. Um, what we have here is Night Thrasher, which is a character I discovered that they was just originally created for this book. To his left is Marvel Boy, who has a history in the Marvel Universe. Firestar, which I remember growing up as a cartoon character on the Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Norita is supposed to be the cousin of the Submariner, Prince Namor. There's Kid Nova, which is Richard Rider. And then over here is Speedball, who had his own limited series back in the day. So these are the guys who's going to bring Marvel to the next level of excellence. And they would do the, um, I don't know if I could say fighting, but they were going to fight crime, yes, in their own style and take on these tasks that the other superheroes were too busy to deal with. Let's go back in time just a little bit and move over here to what is the first ever appearance of the New Warriors, which was introduced in The Mighty Thor issue 412, which I believe it was in 1989 this book came out. And again, didn't know this existed. Just caught off guard by all of it, and there they are, right there, the New Warriors, and they're. We'll zoom in here a little bit more so you can get a bigger picture of what's going on. And here it says guest starring Nor Nor Namorita, Firestar, Kid Nova, Speedball, Marvel Boy, Night Thrasher. And of course, the Thor is fighting the Juggernaut. I'm sorry, I'm butchering the words here. And it says, plus the first look at Marvel's newest superhero team, the New Warriors. That was really cool. And everybody has an experience with comic books where they first are introduced to something, they fall in love with something, and they believe that they are the die-hard fans. And I was just glad that Nova was back, and it was really Nova, Richard Rider, and I took the liberty again, like I said before, of bringing some other um, covers into the screen so you could see the progression. It's 75 issues for this volume, and the characters changed several times. They added a few, they got rid of a few. The book went into a goofy direction at one point. Nova ended up getting his own book uh, at one point, and then he was still a member of this, so you get a 2-for-1 where you buy his book, you buy this book. This one right here with Wolverine fighting Nova. If you look very carefully, you're gonna see that you don't necessarily see the faces of the superheroes on the cover. Captain America is obscured. Thor's face is obscured. Iron Man has an Iron Man mask, so I don't know why exactly they did that, but there is a very unique storyline here as to why you don't necessarily see their faces. I will not spoil that. For me being me and what I like that. I like the uniqueness of the storyline. I won't give it away, but it's a three-part story, and it includes a villain that was a surprise as well. So I'm moving along here to show the books. Here's another one here where right about now, Nova's pretty much um, he is now back in all intents and purposes. Every person, fan, comic book lover who knew Nova or was learning about Nova, he is now um, they're riding the coattails of his popularity and the popularity of New Warriors at the same time. So anytime I saw Nova on the cover of anything, I went and grabbed it. But particularly, I was really happy to see they were giving a lot more prominence to him. This is a very cool cover. He's got a little cocky. He's got the bubblegum thing going, and still acting like a kid. But it's no big deal. And Ben Graham on it. Um, Not much else to tell there. I won't tell any of that story either. Over here is a very cool cover. And I say cool because this is the issue that we go back and we get some history of Xandar, the planet under which the original Nova Prime came from, and how Rich got his powers. And this is a three-part series as well. And out of this book sprung a volume two of Nova. And now he had his own ongoing series, which I think only went like 18 issues, I think it was. I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but it, I liked it. I wish there was more, and I own all of the volumes of Nova, and this was pretty cool. This was when you get really excited if you're a Nova fan. You can't wait. Everything is lining up. Everything is it's going according to plan there. So here I just omitted all the other issues. I wasn't gonna try to make a video out of all the issues of the New Warriors. My channel is dedicated to Nova, the man called Nova, and Richard Rider. But the New Warriors it reintroduced us to Richard Rider and Nova, and it introduced Richard Rider and Nova to a whole new generation of fans who missed out on them. And this book here is the summation of 75 issues to a close. And the uniqueness of putting Nova back on the cover is because I want to say 95 or 96, there was, well, let me go back in time. I don't officially remember when the bankruptcy problems for Marvel started, but it was messy. It was grim. It was a bad time for Marvel, and Marvel was desperate, so they started canceling their titles, lots of them, and they decided they were going to focus on their most popular characters, and no one else would have a book, no one else would have any property. And just when Nova was getting started and doing his own thing, they canceled him with a lot of other books. And the New Warriors survived it for a little bit. It really did survive for another approximately 25 issues. It survived the Marvel bankruptcy, where it was bad, guys. It was bad. And you started to think the comic book industry was going to fall apart also. And this was now the time where independent comic books were starting to make a big splash, and people were defecting from Marvel and I think DC at the time, and making their own books and starting their own companies. And here's, like I said, this is after they gave it a good college try and it started to go south. And 75 issues, and this was the last one. And now that I've showed you that, I'm gonna zoom back out of here, get back to the characters, because my goal is obviously to do something with them. You guys have to forgive me. I really wish I was better at what it appears that I do. And I'm still an artist, and I'm still a creator, and I am a huge fan of animation. So making these characters aren't difficult anymore. They aren't complex like the program will let you make. But after figuring out how to make the suits and putting them together, it's story time then, and that's where all I was hoping to do was to show a little bit of a scene of them fighting um, the Juggernaut as um, reproduced in the Thor 412. Um, I won't try to divulge any real information regarding anything I have coming up or anything that I've done. I'm putting videos out in a certain order, and I'm showing things in a certain order. And yes, I'm taking time to do stuff. And these characters, like every video I've shown, move. They all move. These aren't just drawn characters. They're not just created characters. They literally have bones in them and can jump up and down and move their heads and bodies. And the Marvel Boy has a cape, like I bragged about in one of the videos regarding Thor and his cape. He has a cape too. Norita, no, Namorita, which is Submariner's cousin. I'll click on her real quick to give you an idea of how I was always trying to expand my capabilities. So if we go into her here, and I haven't turned on anything yet, my apologies. Now we turn on to the manipulation of the bones. She's the one here that's moving the head. And what's so goofy is that I'm not perfect at all the aspects of animation, but I love when I do something and it really comes together. And if you see very carefully here, I did a ponytail, and she show her with a ponytail, so I did one, and it was crude, but it serves the purpose. I love that. I love that I was able to create that, and it moves separately from her hair, and that just it gives another dimension of authenticity. The Firestar woman here, I created that mask by looking at a lot of pictures. And um, real quickly, I'll show you something that you guys don't know. At the beginning of my entire adventure into animation, created my own original characters. And what people don't know is that if I go into the Firestar character here, give me 1 second. What I want to show you very quickly is that there is another character underneath that Firestar character. Here we go. That is an original character I created. And as you see, there are different perspectives, which is I've been talking about it a lot and have never showed anybody on this channel any of it up until now. But now you can see she has all the different perspectives. What I'm going to do is with this character, as she's Firestar there, I'm just going to change the color of her outfit and her hair, and that way I won't have to redraw all of the positions. I just have to recolor her. So that character is mine, and all I'm going to do is give her the clothes to match the Firestar character. And I'm very proud of that as well. And I wish I could be better. I wish this was moving along faster, and I wish that you all could get exactly what's in my head, but it starts somewhere. And for me, it's starting right here on the canvas, creating. And these characters uh, do not have all the perspectives that I've done for all the other characters that I show you. This was something when I built these, I just patted myself on the back and I put them in a file and I locked them away and I didn't look at them anymore. And outside of the two girls, women, characters, I don't have any other viewpoints for the Marvel Boy, the Night Thrasher, and the Speedball. Now, Nova, on the other hand, is simply Nova. He is just another version of Nova with a change of clothes. And if I go down to where he is, Kid Nova, and open him up, you should be able to see that he is really Nova. There he is with the regular costume Nova with all the perspectives. And let's see, I'll turn off everybody else here so that you can get a closer look real quick before we wrap up this video with Nova. I'll turn off, there he is. So now all I'm going to do is show you that he has a front, he has the side, he has a regular side, he has the opposite side, the side view, and the back view. And then there's another back view and another back view. That's a lot of stuff, but I did it. And all my characters will have that ability, and some of them already do. And this was a goofy little thing that I started with no idea what the heck I was going to do, and I still don't know. And everybody just needs to be patient with me because there are some people out here who aren't challenging themselves to do the things that they're capable of. and I have a lot of ideas and a limited amount of talent, and somewhere in between all that will be just the way that the world is populated with a lot of stuff. So I just wanted to show everybody that, and I'll turn this all back on real quickly before I sum up the video to let you see what we got going on here. And that is me sharing with you my new Warriors cartoon character creations that eventually at some point down the road one day will be a small little animation with them doing something in an action sequence. I want to thank everybody for watching. The Man Called Nova fans, Marvel's Nova fans, the current Nova fans, and anybody who came to this video looking for anything related to the new Warriors. Much more to come later on, and thank you for watching. This is the Ultimate Nova Fan signing off.